What's up? Today we're going to be ranking / rating some randomly selected, pre-selected Letterboxd profiles. Or roasting, depending on the four top movies they have. If you've never heard of Letterboxd, it's basically a social platform that allows you to rate and review movies. And one of the biggest, most iconic things about it is that you get to select 4 favorite movies. So every single profile, you'll find their 4 favorite movies. I'm sure you've seen a lot of actors or actresses be asked this on different interviews and stuff. Letterboxd goes out and asks them, what are your top 4? This is what they're referring to. And every single profile, well, 99% of the profiles will have their top 4 movies. So what I'm going to be doing is going to random profiles and taking a look at what their favorite movies are, making my own assessments and judgments, and then giving a rating. Roasting may occur. Maybe. We'll see. Alright, so first off, we have the user Samantha. They're over in Australia, and they've watched 1,052 movies, so similar to how much I've watched, to be honest. I wish I could say I've watched more. There's people with 4,000 or 5,000 movies watched. Absolute insanity, but right off the bat, let's take a look at their top 4 here. We got La La Land, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Lady Bird, and Indiana Jones and The Last Crusade. So this is a great selection right here. I would agree with a lot of these. La La Land is one of my favorite movies as well. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, fantastic movie that's actually on my list of my top 4. Lady Bird, great movie, really great coming of age. Great performances, great directing, along with the last 2 I just mentioned. And then, of course, classic Steven Spielberg, Indiana Jones. This is a very, very solid list. I'd give this a solid 8 out of 10, maybe even a 9 out of 10. Really, really on pace with what I would say for sure would be on my personal list. Let's check out recent activity while we're here. Okay, so she's rewatched Black Panther, My Neighbor Totoro, half of it in Colossal. So first off, I'm sorry, Black Panther's not 5 stars. So already I'm going to take off a point. It's now down to a 7 out of 10. I'm kidding. I'm not taking off points, but Black Panther is not a 5 out of 5. And I understand this is a nice review right here. Okay, I'm not hating on the review. And Chadwick Boseman did a great job as Black Panther. The movie's not a 5 out of 5. Very overrated in my opinion. Also, Birds of Prey is also not 5 out of 5. You got me feeling like a psycho. The 500 Days of Summer, great movie, 4 to 5. That's funny. That's a funny one. Okay, let's go to the next one. The final score for Samantha, you get an 8 out of 10. Next we have James. I talk about the giant shiny coconut crab for Moana for a living. Alright, so we got a bit of a comic here. He's got 147,000 followers. He didn't get that by not being funny. A patron. And right off the bat, I'm already liking what I'm seeing up here. Another Lady Bird, but let's go in order here. Whiplash, Lady Bird, Whisper of the Heart, and The Tale of Princess Kaguya. So I have not seen these 2 right here. So I'm really curious to see. I like the covers of them, and they might be worth checking out. These 2 highly agree with. This is another one. Whiplash is on my list. So goated movie. 5 out of 5. Some of the best performances I've ever seen. One of the best endings to a movie I've ever seen. Again, if you haven't seen this one, you gotta check it out. Whiplash is a classic. Lady Bird, like I said, again, great coming of age movie. I see Lady Bird on a lot of people's list. Wouldn't put it on my favorite list, but very solid. Whispers of the Heart. So, okay, I'm seeing several reviews. He's reviewed this movie 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So this is definitely a favorite of James. Whispers of the Heart. Never heard of this. It looks as a 4.2 out of 5. Very solid. Yeah, I have not seen this one. I might have to check that out. Anora gave Anora 4 out of 5. Rewatched it. Solid movie. I agree with that. Never heard of any of these after this, but just judging by this, again, I can only judge on the half criteria because I'm uncultured and I don't know about these 2 movies, but I do really like the animation style. It's definitely reminding me of the Ghibli movies. So, anyways, James, you get I'll give you an 8 out of 10. I'll play it safe. Also an 8 out of 10. These 2 movies look like solid picks, and I'll give you bonus points because you actually these are your favorite movies. You actually watched these several times, so it's been a solidified list. Next up, we have Zoe Rose Bryant. Excuse if I completely massacred that. We got a pro here. We got a professional Letterboxd user with 4,954 movies under her belt, which is an insane number. Insanity. Absolute insanity. 72,000 followers. I almost said movies. That'd be crazy. Yearly ranking. She's ranked since 2000. So I give her props for that. A work in progress, and occasionally a writer. Favorite films. 4. Lady Bird once again. Lady Bird seems to be a recurring one. Matrix. One of the best action movies of all time, in my opinion. Goated. Definitely deserves to be up there. Boyhood. Respectable movie. I like what they were going for when they made it, and I really think it's cool that they used the same actor over a long period of time for the movie, really showing a coming of age. Probably one of the more unique coming of age movies. It's a bit of a slower movie though. Solid pick, wouldn't put it on my top 4 though. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, bit of a safe pick, but a great movie nonetheless. One of the most unique I've seen. And just a very iconic movie. I feel like a lot of people put this up there as some of their favorite movies on their list of favorite movies. This one always gets kind of thrown in there. So, respectable. Let's take a little closer look down here. Avengers Infinity War 4.5 with a heart. I agree with that. Completely agree with it. Homefront 2.5. Yeah, that was a very lackluster movie. Oh, they gave this new movie, Black Bag, a 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, Zoe. Saltburn, that was a good one. 4.5. All right. Barbie, 5 stars. Okay, this is where you lost me. It was all fine until I got down here. Barbie is not a 5 out of 5. It's not even remotely close to being a 5 out of 5. It's a 3 out of 5. At best, a 3 out of 5. In my opinion, best 3 out of 5. Was overrated. Fun movie. Entertaining. That's all I'm going to say about it. There's nothing more to be said. 3 out of 5, in my opinion. Zoe, you get a 7.5 out of 10. Because I can't rate them all 8 out of 10, but I give you 7.5. Okay, I'll give you an 8. Repeat that. I'll give you an 8 for having all these yearly rankings, and this is a go-to movie, and these two are solid picks. Only one I disagree with. I'll give you solid 8, and you seem to have watched a lot of movies, so Zoe, you get an 8 out of 10. Lucas Naff, or Naff, please correct me if I'm wrong on that. 290 films under his belt, 10 this year. Alright, let's take a look here. Favorite films: Jurassic Park, Alien, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, which is the first one, and District 9. Very unique. So a big fan of sort of sci-fi, action, adventure sort of movies. All of these are classics. I can't be mad at them. Jurassic Park, one of the greatest blockbuster adventure movies of all time. Definitely deserves to be up there. I can see why people love the Jurassic Park movie, the first one at least, until they all went downhill after that. But Jurassic Park, excellent movie. Alien, one of the best sci-fi horror movies of all time as well. Completely revolutionized what it means to do space horror. Pirates of the Caribbean, solid pick. I like the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, at least the first couple. Pretty underrated, but they definitely made their name when they came out. Great adventure movies, fun, good acting, very iconic characters, great visuals. Just a solid action blockbuster movie. I like that one too. And then District 9. This one's not one I see mentioned a lot, but District 9 is a very good sci-fi movie. I remember seeing that in the movie theater and thought how interesting it was that they almost went with this documentary sort of look at this idea. It's pretty cool. I do like the movie. So solid pick. Let's go down here for a moment. Pause. Everybody stop. Sound the alarm. Where's the red button? Snow White. Alert. Snow White. 5 out of 5 on the rewatch. The first time around it was a 4.5. Almost there. Almost to 5. Watched it again. Gave it a 5 out of 5 with a heart. This is where you lost me. Lucas, this is where you lost me now. Snow White is not a 5 out of 5. Snow White isn't even a 2 out of 5. Snow White isn't even a 1.5 out of 5. Horrible, horrible, horrible movie. What are you thinking? Review. What are you saying in the review? You're called happy because you're happy, and I'm called grumpy because I'm misunderstood. Referencing the movie, that didn't tell me didn't tell me why you liked it or why you didn't. I need an explanation as to why you gave it a 5 out of 5. That's all I'm saying. Chronicle gave it a 4 out of 5. This was an underrated sort of superhero type movie. Found footage. Interesting one. I agree. I think the 4 out of 5 is good on that. But come on now. What are you doing with the Snow White? Just because of that, you get a 7 out of 10. Your list is very solid. I give it a 7 out of 10. Next up, we have Silent Dawn. Hey there. Top 4 films shift through various favorites. So the rating scale goes as follows. 0. So this guy made his own rating scale here. Okay, yeah, so holy moly, 15. All right, little breakdown of he was using the 100 scale. He said, I'm not using the Letterboxd 5 stars, I'm using the 100. To be honest, 100 is probably the most accurate you're gonna get. 5 is definitely the least accurate. There's definitely a lot of movies that I think are okay, but I wouldn't put them at 3 out of 5, but I have to put them at 3 out of 5 because there's no other choice. So I think that 5 is definitely the most limited, but I totally understand why they did that with Letterboxd. But anyways, favorite movie, Barry Lyndon. Great classic Stanley Kubrick movie. Really a big fan of that one, so very respectable choice. Bambi right next to Barry Lyndon. We're just going to shift over to Bambi. I respect it. Bambi's a good movie as well. Great animated classic. Jaws. So from Bambi to Jaws, different kind of animal movie. One of the best sort of suspense horror movies out there. Classic, again, Spielberg. A lot of people put Jaws as their top 4. Not my top 4, but I definitely respect the movie a lot. And then Danger Diabolik. Never heard of this movie. Came out in 1968. International man of mystery, Diabolik and his sensuous lover, Eva Kant, pull off heist after heist, all while European cops, led by Inspector Ginkgo, and envious mobsters led by Ralph Valmont, are closing in on them. Wow, that sounds like a crazy premise and plot. Look at this. I mean, how could you not watch this now? I gotta put on my watch list. Are you kidding me with this? That sounds crazy. Back to his profile. So yeah, he's on his own completely different realm here. He's doing out of hundreds. Everybody listen up. He's doing out of hundreds. Don't try to do this out of 5 business. He gave it a 15. Out of 100, he gave Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker a 15. That one is universally hated. He didn't give this one a score. 4.5. Christian Bale deserved an Oscar. I agree. This movie's great. American Psycho is excellent. Haven't seen these 2 movies, admittedly, but this is very good. This is a solid list. I like that it's different. I like that we're all over the place. We have a period piece, a sort of artsy period piece, animated movie, horror, adventure, if you will, and then this movie looks like an action sort of comedy type movie. So listen, all over the place. And listen, you made your own scale, so I'm also going to give you an 8 out of 10. All right, next up we have IBKB. I'm just going to say it's IBKB. We got a patron here. 126 films under their belt with the Avengers. Little top here. All right, let's take a look. Favorite films. Avengers Endgame. The Hunger Games, Catching Fire. Lemonade Mouth. And Pitch Perfect. So we are all over the place with this one. Avengers Endgame, solid pick. I think Avengers Infinity War is better, but Infinity War and Endgame, 2 of the best action superhero movies ever, in my opinion. They got everything right with it. They totally delivered on what fans wanted. So I definitely give that one a pass. That's good. This is where things get a little questionable for me. Hunger Games, Catching Fire. The Hunger Games series is good, but in no means is it 5 out of 5. In no means is it up there, which I'm going to tag this as seen because I have seen this one. I've seen all the Hunger Games movies. Yeah, this one, yeah, they seem to be a huge fan of the Hunger Games franchise. Part 1, 5 out of 5. Rewatched it. Mockingjay Part 1, 5 out of 5. Hunger Games 1, 5 out of 5. I'm guessing Catching Fire is also a 5 out of 5. So, a huge fan of the Hunger Games series. I like them. I just don't think that they're 5 out of 5. I wouldn't put them on my favorite list. Lemonade Mouth, I remember hearing about this movie. I never saw it personally, so I can't comment on it. And Pitch Perfect, I can see why a lot of people would have Pitch Perfect in their list. I think that it's sort of a fun comedy movie. It's very quotable. It still gets quoted to this day. So I could see certain groups having this as their top favorite. Me personally, no. I think it's entertaining at best. But you know what? There's definitely a diverse list here. I give you credit for going outside of the box, being a little different with some of the picks. This is not what you would traditionally think of as favorites. And you know what? That's the beauty of it. We're all unique in our own way. So in honor of Lemonade Mouth, I'm going to give this profile a solid 6 out of 10. Only because I disagree with most of them. But still, respect it. I do respect it. 6 out of 10. And finally, we're wrapping up with another patron, Houston Coley, theme park writer of bad takes and pretentious bios. Okay, very ironic there. All right, so let's take a look at what we're dealing with. 1,638 movies, 35 this year. Okay, so favorite movies are The Kingdom of Tea and Strangers, a 2024 movie, Conclave, Little Women, and The Banshees of Inisherin. So, I have not seen A Kingdom of Tea and Strangers. I've never heard of this movie. Never heard of the movie, and then when I go to it, the director is him. So, his favorite movie is the one that he directed. Okay, that makes sense now. That makes sense. I'll tell you what though. Anyone who makes their own movie, anyone who makes their own thing, major props to you. You know what? Flaunt it. Go ahead and flaunt it. Go ahead and flaunt your movie. It makes sense here. Going to these 3 though, I'll just mark these as 3 here. So, Conclave, it was a good movie. I didn't like the end. I made a whole rant video about it. You can check it out right now by clicking the I. But yeah, no, I thought the ending wasn't great and a little forgettable. Good movie, good acting, good performances throughout. Didn't think it would, definitely wouldn't put it as my top list personally. I give the movie like a 3 out of 5. Little Women, good movie. I liked it. Greta Gerwig directed. Great performances. Pretty memorable storyline. Pretty memorable performances too, actually. I did enjoy it. I did actually like that. Yeah, a very solid movie. Little Women, classic story as well. The Banshees of Inisherin, great pick. I really, really liked this movie. Saw it a couple of years ago when it came out. And then they made this really weird-ass Super Bowl commercial referencing it weirdly. The Squarespace one. I don't know if you know what I'm referring to, but yeah, Banshees of Inisherin, very solid pick. Great movie. A movie about loneliness, a movie about friendship. Very sad. Excellent performances from Donald Gleason and Colin Farrell. So excellent performances. Really like the movie. Great pick. So these 2 are really good picks. Conclave, questionable, and then I give you a pass because it is your movie, so I get it. Put it up at the front. Totally get it. Yeah, this is a solid, honestly. For these 2, Banshees of Inisherin kind of came in and saved it for me. Let's take a look. Kiki's Delivery Service, that's a good one. Another black bag review there. Grand Budapest Hotel, 5 stars. Yeah, this is one movie I never really got. The Grand Budapest Hotel. Never fully understood it. Never grasped it. I thought that the cinematography was really good, but yeah, it never spoke to me. But going back, Houston, Coley, I'm going to give you 7.5. For putting Banshees of Inisherin on there, I give you 7.5. Very solid. But anyways, if you want me to review your Letterboxd profile, please let me know below in the comments. Tell me your username. I'll check it out. Again, this is all for entertainment purposes. Thanks for being good sports, and hope you enjoyed this. If you want to see more of this, let me know below. This is fun, and keep watching movies. And if you want to see more like this, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video for more.